everyone, welcome to the channel. So here at Wayward Souls, we talk about various taboo subjects. And in this podcast or video, I want to talk about how we can communicate with our passed on loved ones, because it is absolutely possible. And yeah, and I also do tarot readings too. I forgot to mention that, but I want to talk about this topic because this is something that's really helped me along my journey. I've lost a lot of people in my life through like drug overdoses, death. I've just lost a lot of people, and I've always been spiritually inclined. And along my way, I realized that it's absolutely possible that we can be in contact with people that have passed over. Now, whatever you believe in, if you believe in heaven, if you're religious, if you're atheist, whatever it is, it doesn't matter, because, and that's great. Whatever you believe in is beautiful, but this works for everything, because at the end of the day, like, everything is consciousness, and consciousness is made up of energy. And even science explains that the universe is made up of energy, and energy can't be destroyed. It can only be transmuted. It can only like change or move, right? So we all have an energy body that contains a physical mass, which is our physical body. And so when we die, the energy just gets dispersed. And even if you believe in reincarnation, let's say your grandfather passed away. Your grandfather has passed away and is reincarnated into another life. Because consciousness still exists, consciousness is everything. And because of that, the energy of who your grandfather was and that level of consciousness, it still exists. And so even though your grandfather is living a different life, you can still access your grandfather, the energy of him. Like, let's say it's like everything is like an energy mass that's all connected to like the vast ocean of consciousness. Like, we're all just raindrops. Now, all the raindrops return to the ocean of consciousness when we die, but we're all still technically raindrops, if that makes sense. So it's like both are true. So Grandpa, you can still communicate with him, even if he's living in a different life, even if he's in heaven. Actually, that's a beautiful thing, because then you're talking to people straight from heaven. So, and if you don't believe in that stuff, then that's fine. Everything is energy and everything is consciousness. And whether you're hearing the voices in your head and you think it's yourself, or it's actually your grandfather talking to you, the fact is you're getting a message from consciousness. It's coming from somewhere through the energy of your grandfather. I hope this makes sense. Everything is consciousness. Everything's energy, okay? And so we can always access energy. And it's like when someone walks in the room and they're bringing in bad energy, negative energy. We can feel that. That's real stuff. If you can feel someone who's alive, if you can feel their energy, you can certainly feel someone who's dead, like their energy, because the energy's still there. They just don't have a physical body. So, that being said, one of the best ways to start communicating with your passed on loved ones is to pray and to develop a relationship with them. So a lot of the times we'll pray and we'll ask for guidance in something, and then we'll just kind of forget all about it and go throughout our day. If we pray in a way that we're developing a relationship with them, we can take that further. So we can say, let's say Dad passed away. We can say, Dad, have your conversation with him, whatever it is you want to get off your chest. And you could say, if you're around, Dad, if you're around, for example, show me yellow cars. Do something that you're not emotionally attached to. So just something random, like yellow cars. You don't care about yellow cars. It's so stupid and random. Ask your dad, Dad, show me yellow cars if you're around. Or ask him to show you something that reminds you of them. Like, show me watches if your dad always wore a watch. So if you ask that question and you pray to your dad, and then if just let go of that. Like, don't be emotionally attached to seeing yellow cars. Like, allow the universe to do its thing. Like, allow the energy to come in. A lot of times when when we pull for answers, when we pull onto things, we're actually energetically pushing things away, which I will also explain in another video. But yeah, if you start seeing yellow cars, that's a sign that your dad's trying to communicate with you and show you that he's around. For example, I have a cousin who passed away, and so a lot of the times I'll either smell farts or cigarettes, and I know that that's him. If I just smell cigarettes out of nowhere and there's no one around, I'm not smoking, I'm just in the middle of nowhere, I'm in my house, and all of a sudden I smell cigarettes, like that is 100% my cousin, and he's done this a few times. And sometimes he leaves fart smells randomly, which is something he did when he was alive. So that's just like a joke that he has, that he gives out. So really interesting stuff. So you can even ask, like, let's say your sister passed away. Ask your sister to show you her name. Like if you start seeing her name everywhere, that's a sign that she's around. So it's like developing a relationship with your passed on loved one, redeveloping that relationship, even though they don't have a body. And this doesn't take away from the grief and the pain and the loss, because we're always going to feel the pain and the loss of our passed on loved ones. But at least having the spiritual guidance and support and connection with them, it really boosts the quality of life. Like it has really helped me in so many ways, and it's helped me feel more connected to life itself and to the universe. And understanding how connected things are is a really beautiful thing. So we can ask them for personal things. And in general, if you're dreaming about your passed on loved one, if you are just randomly seeing their name, even if you see people that look like them at a first glance, that is a sign that they're like looking out for you. You can ask them to show you a number synchronicity, like, show me 777 or show me repeated sevens. And then if you start seeing these sevens everywhere, like, hallelujah, they're talking to you, Yeah, it's really cool stuff. It's really cool stuff. And even things like, for example, I associate my one grandmother with roses because she always had like dried roses everywhere. She always smelled like rose perfume. So now every time I randomly smell, like I'll just smell rose out of nowhere, or my cat will come in because she loved cats. My cat will come in and she'll smell like roses. And I'm like, what? Like, this is my grandmother. She's coming through. And this is only the beginning too. Like I'm going to get really intermediate with this on how we can communicate with them. But this is the beginning start of it. And at the end of the day, like we're actually all psychic. We can all tune in and tap into the connectedness of the universe. And so therefore we can all tune in and talk with our passed on loved ones. Sorry, sometimes I don't get enough air, and even I was intensified by that. So another thing that I like to do is journaling. Have you ever heard of brain dumping? Brain dumping is when you get out a journal and you just start writing whatever comes to your mind. And it doesn't even worry, even if like words like poop, fart, burp come out, right? Like just keep writing. With channeling, you don't want to think, you want to allow. You want to be open. You want to be energetically open. It's the same thing with like pulling, like holding on to something. It's not going to work. If you're holding on or like wanting to figure things out, you're not going to be open to hearing the answers. And that's why brain dumping is really helpful, because it teaches you to just let go and to just write. And that's been one of the most helpful things for me in learning how to channel. So we can start by, let's say mom passed away. Okay. If there's an issue, if there's something that you're struggling with, you can be like, Mom, I'm struggling with this issue, write it out. I'm struggling with this issue. What can I do? Now, after you've wrote this question, immediately just start brain dumping. Doesn't matter what comes out, even if like one word makes sense to you, that's the start of it. At least you're developing that psychic muscle. Even if one sentence speaks to you of what you wrote, that is your mom giving you a message, because it's not something that you created. You didn't purposely write that, right? This is why I want you to be open. You want to be open to just, and brain dump, because then it's random. And then if the message actually speaks to you, you know that it came from something. And so it came from your mom. Your mom. No, I'm sorry. This is like not the video to be silly on. I'm just in a really silly mood, but I'm so passionate about this topic. I really am. It's my favorite. I have seen so many ghostly things in my life. It's insane. And my cousin and my friend and I, like, we just always have these paranormal experiences. Like, it's crazy. So I really love this stuff. And I really love being in contact with my spirit guides and my passed on loved ones. And it just helps me feel a little more connected, and it gives me more direction in life of where to go. So, and whether or not you need help from your passed on loved ones, it's just really nice to have a relationship with them. You can even write letters to them like, I love you so much. You know, I hope you're doing okay. And then see what they say back, you know. I'm going to tell you something. I posted a video maybe 2 years ago, or a few years ago now, called I Channeled My Grandfather. I'll link it in this video, or I'll link it in the description box below. And this grandfather was not a good person when he was alive. He was an abusive prick, actually. And so when I started channeling, I heard this old croaky voice just start to go, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm so sorry. I was a bad person. Like, you know, like just full on guilt. And then when I asked if this was my grandfather, I started to feel this massive energy, like a massive wet blanket just go right into me. And it was like, when you feel energy in you, sometimes you start to move like this. And so all I could write and all I could feel were the words of, I'm so sorry, I was a bad person. And so this can be an intense practice, because if you're trying to rekindle something with a passed on loved one that has caused you a lot of pain, really make sure that you're ready to do this, because this can be intense if this is something that, if you had something intense around a certain person. Yeah, and that's why I put a trigger warning in this video, because this can be a really intense subject for people. This can be really hard stuff. And yeah, that was quite an emotional time for me, because, you know, someone just, and he didn't really impact me personally. It was more how awful he was to my grandmother and my mom and my aunts and my uncle. Like, he just was not a good person. And, it's like when you pass away, your ego self dissolves. And so you have this broad perspective, and you start to reflect on all the things you did in your life. And so a lot of the times people don't realize they've done wrong until after they've passed away. And that's when they really reflect on it, because they now have that broader open consciousness perspective. So that's why he came to a place where he wanted to apologize. And he ended up becoming more of a spirit guide in order to make it up to the family. Like, he said to me, let me help you, let me assist you. Like, let me act as like a protector guide. And it took me a while to be okay with that. I had to make sure my grandmother was okay with that, because I'm really close with her. And yeah, it ended up being okay. So it's how we bring healing into our whole lineage too, is when we can learn to love and learn to work things out. And I'm not forcing any of you to forgive people that have done you wrong. Forgiveness is more about making peace with something that happened to you. It's not about saying that what someone did to you is okay. And you don't have to go and love them and care for them anymore. You don't have to do that to have good karma. Like, you just need to make peace and heal for yourself and love yourself. Yeah, so just that was a trigger warning in case you end up getting into some deeper stuff with passed on loved ones that have caused you harm. I just wanted to give that to you. Yeah, so keeping your boundaries solid and just slowly developing a relationship with your passed on loved ones through prayer and through like just being open and being open to seeing signs from the universe and around you. Think, like, really notice it when you see like your passed on loved one's favorite color, or you see their name everywhere, or if you ask them to see, like, if you ask them, hey auntie, show me purple hats if you're around, and you start seeing purple hats, like, pay attention to those little things. And that is the ways that we can connect with them. So, and journaling. Anyways, thank you so much. If you made it to the end of this video, I'll love you. Thank you so much. And if you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. I post a lot of stuff like this. I also post tarot readings if you're into that as well. Some guidance, you know. Sometimes we need some guidance. Yeah, and I'm sending you so much love and blessings on your journeys through your own psychic development and through your own life in general. Peace and love, everyone. Take care. Bye.